Welcome in. Oh, already with the mixed up words. Welcome in, chat, to this week's episode of Call to Shadow. Oh, let me catch my breath. All right, I need everyone in their previous characters to please roll one last perception check.
I tried to roll onto a hand and
All right, Ink. What did you get? Okay. Theonidas. All right. Requiem. All right, more or less. All right, Diz, what'd you get? Oh, at all? Oh, that's right, because I had you guys muted. Okay, I'll unmute you. Boop. I'll unmute you guys, so everyone can hear you. All right, Diz.
Persepi nat 1 for 4.
Okay.
Damn, still in character.
The session begins with me, dear listener, in a long and narrow hallway. Oh, look, this finally loaded. That's nice. Where, if you remember, our party fell to the blades of their allies, one by one. Diz, as your life's blood begins to pool around you in a warmth akin to a blanket, you can only imagine one face. You are oblivious to what happens around you, and maybe it's for the best. But all you can see is Gemma. Her soft features, her bright eyes, your softly whispered promises that you would find her, that you would save her. The ring that you bear, that matches hers, warms, but you are too weak to speak back. As through the connection of this bound ring, you hear her calling out to you, Diz, please, what's going on? Please! Diz! Diz! You can only close your eyes as you answer the call. Requiem. As you lay in your pool of lifeblood, your vision begins to fade, and you see standing at the edge of your vision a small, pale, lit figure. And she's rushing towards you. Her slippered footsteps tip, 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 tip. The floor that she's running on, every step is like a ripple of starlight as Solana rushes to you. This is both your first hello and your final farewell. Requiem, what do you say to her?
Sorry. As she's holding Solana, who's weeping bitterly, the Requiem toughens herself, not wanting her to see her be vulnerable in this time. But tears are rushing down her face, and she says, "I'm sorry I could not protect you. And we could not protect them. But this is where we separate. I'm sorry." She just holds her in her arms until they have to separate. Just crying. Oh, Kopik, we can't hear you. I don't.
Hello? Is it?
Hello, hello?
Oh, I had it muted. I was like, why? What's happening? I just had it
What?
muted. I'm good.
Okay.
That's all.
Could you hear what I said, though?
What did I heard what Requiem said, but what did Solana say?
Oh, did Solana say something?
She gets to say something, yes.
She gets to say something, too. She... Solana's just weeping, crying. I don't understand. I didn't even get to say goodbye. Now I just met you and I have to leave you too. And she just goes deeper into the Requiem's embrace. So
And
Solana didn't know who she was, but she knew
very
that...
slowly, Solana, the Requiem begins to fade in your arms.
Please don't go. Not yet. I just saw you and I knew. You were what was missing. Please don't go. Not yet. And as the Requiem fades away, she just falls to the ground. Crying because she realized that was what was missing in her life and what she felt was gone for a while. And then
The scene around you swiftly changes, Solana, and you are absolutely alone. Bereft of a friend always with you, and yet never seen. Quiet as starlight, and as constant as the moon, even in shadow. A staircase forms before you. A staircase of light leading up.
She'll go up the staircase.
As you begin to ascend, there is a tune, like a crystal gong, being struck. And the further you ascend, the more that you realize it is a motherly sound, a voice, a hymn, a song. At the very peak of the staircase, there is an archway, and through the archway, there is this incredible field of grass. Bright green, a crystal clear sky with opalescent clouds, and standing just beyond the edge of the archway, a woman that is the personification come to life of a moonbeam. And she is crying, her arms held out to you.
Who are you? Before she runs over, I think she's fighting every instinct to run over because she sees an open embrace, but she's scared. Who are you?
Roll your last insight for this character.
Nat 20. So that would be insight.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a nat 20, so 20.
This is your mother. But you sense with a nat 20 that if you descend the stairs and you don't enter, something might change. Something might happen that will change everything. But this is your mother, and you could be with her forever. Safe.
Can I talk to her before I decide?
You're not sure she can hear you through the archway, but she can see you.
I'm gonna make a roll for myself personally. Oh. Solana looks at her mother and she sees the beauty that's around her, but something still feels missing. So she looks at her mother and gives her a nod and says, I love you, but I'm not done yet. I won't allow it. I think she has an idea of what that means if she sees her mother. So she starts running down the stairs.
As you hit the bottom of the stairs, you see some distance off Arendor kneeling in the pool of dark. His back is bowed, his shoulders straining with a heavy burden, and all around him, the liquid of the floor is rising up in round, bubble-like globules that are collecting and coalescing and twisting as if a storm is forming. Something tumultuous. And this peaceful scene, Solana, as you are rushing towards him, begins to shatter. Underfoot, the water that you're stepping on that has ripples of starlight begins to sink into something unknown. something far, something different. You reach out your hand towards him, and you hear the call. And it begins to pull you under.
Can he see me or hear me? I think Solana's gonna try. If she sees Arundel, she's gonna scream, "Arundel! What's happening?" Scream at the top of her lungs.
He doesn't seem to notice.
She'll go down screaming then. She's getting called.
Requiem. When you open your eyes, you are in a place of shade. Colorless, bland. But there is the sound of a pulsing heartbeat. A pulsing heartbeat and a draw. A promise. A promise written in this gray scale abyss that you will never be left alone again. Before you forms a crown and a scepter, dripping black ink, beautiful diamonds, brilliant white and gray. You need only don them, and no one will ever disrespect, disregard, or be lost to you again.
I think seeing that, the Requiem will just be saying, "Fine." She'll take it. She'll put on the crown and slowly put on the jewels and everything and take a deep breath, reinvigorated.
As you don the instruments of shadow, you feel the power of divinity. And somewhere in the back of your mind, Requiem, you hear a mother's sob. The painful sound that only someone could make who was simply proud of you for existing. It is easily enough ignored. After all, you are a goddess.
I like the sound of that.
Theonidas.
Yep.
You are still alive when the arrow pierces through your lung and then out your chest. You see ink on his knees, and you know what a man looks like when his soul shatters. Try as you might, you reach your hand forward, but your body refuses to obey. And for once in your life, you're unable to protect. All around you, everything begins to blur and change and darken. And you feel this conflicting pain in your chest, this voice that whispers, "I told you, Theonidas, you could never protect them." And another voice that says, "You did your best, my son. You did your best, and that is enough." As you exhale your final time, you blink back. Tears. And if you could say one last thing, Theonidas, what phrase would you utter to the world or your friends?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got to go home.
Before you is a field. A field of tall wheat. Not far from you are the cornfields of home. You can see the great tower. You can even smell the bakery. Of your father making his finest cakes. Only the bakery is empty, and it's your mother when you look through the door. She turns over her shoulder, and she speaks so you can't hear her words. Make one final insight check, Theonidas. Looking, staring in your mother's mouth to try and read the words that she's whispering to you. Finally, she turns and you catch the last phrase. "This is not over." And she pushes you out the door. She pushes you hard enough that you begin to free fall, and as you hit the ground shatters, the vision changing as you plummet into the dark. And when you land, your eyes are squinted closed, and you're just prepared to feel pain, but instead, it's a gentle touchdown, and it's wet, like water. Only when you lift your hand, it becomes sand and dry, and it glitters between your fingertips, sparkling down in a swirling array to rejoin the water. When you look up, you see, it's odd. It's hard to describe. It looks almost as if you're inside the cerebrum. But not up on the dais where the wizards work their magic and use the arcanum, but in the swirling abyss and waters. And a voice draws you farther and farther into the abyss, should you choose. Would you like to follow the voice?
He will follow the voice.
Did you ever meet the wife? I sure you one time
It looks as if you are talking to a mote caught in the sun. A little spattering of dust that simply floats in the air before you, that glints like crystals caught in the sunlight. And the voice, though you don't speak the language, you understand the meaning. And two staircases are presented to you. One that sinks into shadow, and the other that rises into light. The choice is yours.
He will rise into the light.
As you begin to walk up the steps, there is a heaviness to your shoulders, to your knees, your thighs, as you realize you might never see your father again. Your sister, your brother, Diz. And as you keep ascending, flashes of your life as Theonidas Elfwind, the sun, and the true king begin to fade. You witness moments of your entire life, from catching and eating frogs with Diz as children, to Diz showing you what he calls a shit and squat, which is a more effective way to poop and fight at the same time, should it be necessary. To your mother showing you how to practice sword, shield, and eventually warpick, hammer. To your sister, talking to you about this boy that she definitely doesn't like but is interested in talking to, if she should talk to him or not talk to him, and your advice is just be honest, be yourself. All the way to your father holding you, reading you bedtime stories, and then finally your brother who... It's complicated. But slowly you forget, and you change. More or less.
Yes.
Curious, this strange place of dark liquid and starlight. You feel this strange, weightless sensation, and you realize the curse is gone. Far off in the distance, you hear a very familiar voice with a thick brogue for such a tiny body. As Ladle says, "You can't be dying now. I'm not gonna allow it. Come on. Breathe. Don't leave me. Our adventure's only just started. I'm just one wee brave soul. I can't carry the weight of it on my own. More. Less, please." And when you turn behind you to look at where the voice is coming from, you see tiny Ladle pulling at the bones that cover your body until he can uncover your face. And he puts his tiny little hands on your cheek. And he screams for you. And then you hear a voice. A voice that calls you forward. What do you do?
All I ever craved was a place to call my own, where laughter and mischief could roam free. And yet their ladle had been in my pocket the whole time. Truly a dearest friend. They turned to the voice. Ha. My impending demise. Treading my final steps, surrendering to the unknown. Farewell. Another chaotic adventure. Another journey. Come, come. This could be fun. And they're gonna follow the voice.
You come to a fork in the road.
Bloody forks.
To the left, this winding river road ends in fire and light as bright as the dawn. But pain. And the other, sweet, dark oblivion. But loneliness.
Of course, the fork in the road would be as tumultuous as every fork in the real world. Turn back to the dark. Go back to the cursed existence of loneliness. Or follow to the fires of pain. Perhaps there is a place to belong. Perhaps the pain means that there is something to lose. Or perhaps just another mischievous and clever adventure. I mean, I could sit here and do nothing. But I guess not. What a boring lack of existence that would be. My spirit yearns for something more. At least I felt the bittersweet touch of my dearest friend Where would Keeper go? Back to the dark? Or to the light? Do I become more or less? Light or dark? They follow towards the feeling of pain, towards the flames and fire, thinking to themselves that perhaps there is a bond there. Perhaps knowing that in the end they will not be alone. Perhaps a sense of belonging awaits them.
And so you walk forward. And ever so slowly, you begin to forget, to change. Ink. Remind me what you got on that perception.
Like a 4.
Okay.
Wait, no. Total 9.
All right. Everything happens so fast and so quick, it is hard for you to track. One moment you're on your knees. Everything inside is shattering. This is not what you meant. This is not what you wanted to remember as memories. This is not how it was supposed to go. Your attention is only drawn out of your grief as the gloom around you begins to fade, and you see Lord Kelros. The Requiem has changed into Solana, and Kelros begins to weep. He rushes to her body and lifts her delicately, and then his eyes fall to you, and there is hatred, pain, rage.
What happened here?
And it's actually Arendor who speaks first.
It is not what you think. Please, understand, Kelros. He says, no, you wizard! You are the reason this happened!
And Kelros begins to glow. Lightning begins to travel down his arms. His eyes ignite in a fiery blue. And out of nowhere, it is as if there's a bright flash and strike of lightning within this tiny, narrow hallway, and suddenly he is in a full suit of shining armor. And in his hand, a long sword that thirsts for the blood of man. And slowly he closes the distance to Arendor with intent in his eyes that you are familiar with. Would you like to intervene?
No, I don't think he would. I think he would, as he kneels, he dispels his mage armor. And he sits there, almost as if prepared to receive any form of punishment.
The two are going to collide. Because you are close and you're between him and Arendor, he tries to strike you, only to have Arendor vanish and reappear before you, blocking the blow. And then Arendor begins to glow a heated red. And he says, "You don't want to do this, Kelros. You don't want to do this here. Please, listen to me. Listen to reason. This is not the end. This is your end, wizard. Your end!" The resounding explosion knocks you from your knees to your back, slamming into the wall, and then you feel the tunnel begin to crumble as the two continue to clash. You're knocked almost completely dizzy and out. Your vision's blurring. You feel like you need to throw up. You've slammed the back of your head so hard, but you know you'll welcome the pain over this different kind of numbness that is settled in your chest after having to watch and being a part of ending what you cared most for. Maybe. Definitely. Even you aren't really sure. But there is a cacophony of sound between your ears, blood rushing, your heart beating. And it's just adding to the dizziness. When you finally regain your senses, Kelros is covered head to toe in red, and he is slowly stalking towards you. Somehow, the roof has been blown open and the sun is spilling in. And he aims his blade at your throat. And he makes a vow. From this day, forevermore, it is my personal duty to hunt, to destroy, to end any who oppose this call to shadow. Let the darkness come. Let malice walk. I will be the one to met out justice. And he beheads you. The inane laughter that bubbles forth out of Kelros' throat is unhinged. He gathers the remains of his daughter, and weeping and laughing and screaming, he leaves the tunnel, and he heads into the city. Though none of you are alive to see it, there is one individual. After having dealt with Kelros, comes down into the tunnel. His steps are slow and sure. His arm is broken, not quite beyond repair, but it may take a century for it to work right and to grip a sword again. He pauses at more or less his corpse, and he scoops a tiny frame from the hag's face and puts it into his pocket. And then he moves to the next body. This one, he withdraws what seems to be a shadow. But the moment it's in his hand, feathers unfurl. And one by one, something is collected. And then one by one, he takes you from the tunnel, and where he puts the body is unsure. But he intends to keep it secret, to keep it safe, because he cannot find his brother any longer. And if that's the case, he supposes the world will burn. Try as he might, Craven is unreachable. Perhaps when he finds the boy, he'll find the man. But even then, he isn't sure. And as this individual begins to travel the centuries, seeking, searching, he succumbs, not to a call of shadow, but to a call of malice and vice. Grief is hard to bear, and guilt alongside it even harder. It's here that our story begins. In the city of Scylla. Each of you are familiar. You are familiar with the Wall. And for the last several hundred years, the Wall has been a dismal place. All across the kingdom, the sun is dull, shrouded by an impossible, hazy, overcast gray sky. The people no longer smile. The halflings exist no longer. Alongside them, the gnomes and the dwarves, a thing of legend. And even the long-lived elves have seen their last day. Whispers that the age of man is over are a constant on the wind. Val, can you please introduce yourself and who you're playing today?
Yeah. Well, my name is Valentine. I'm your demonic cafe owner. And today we'll be playing Solaria Loki. He's a typical noble, pale skin, white shock of hair, very well kept, and is very extravagant and fancy clothing. Obviously one of money. And I don't know, yeah. Guess we'll get to see more about him soon.
Soriel?
Solariel.
Solariel. Alright, I gotta... Solariel. I gotta get used to these new names. Alright, Solariel. You have been invited to dine with... Oh, I can hear myself. Am I echoing on somebody's thing? Lady Demia has invited you to dine with her. She's curious to, well, ask a favor, more or less. At least that's what you think. Her invitation says that she's more than happy to send a carriage to her estate where you could meet in her gardens and enjoy cake and wine over your brief discussion of city policies, but most importantly, who you'll be attending the gala with. The gala, held in Kazahir's resplendent glory, of course. I need you to roll for me an insight, but first I need you to decide where he would meet her or if he would meet her at her estate. Your bodyguard is currently indisposed, so you would be going alone.
Well, if she's sending a carriage, we'll
That's
take
what
her
she's-
up on that offer.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
check mark yes to the carriage. So you'll let yourself be taken to her estate.
Yeah.
Okay. So you sign
And,
your name and you're going to return the missive to her messenger, who is standing on your front porch, your doorstep, waiting for your reply.
Go along. Here you go. And do be hastily.
Of course, my lord. Customary bow with the hands crossed over the chest. Very deep, as you, after all, are noble. You are a venerable one, above the common filth, to be undegraded by the lower city, of course. Make an insight and a perception. Actually, no. The insight, I'll just give it to you. Her invitation had some of her perfume rubbed on it. You think she's absolutely into you. That's what your passive insight tells you is, well, she thinks you're quite handsome. What is your passive perception?
Passive perception 12.
Okay. So as you're kind of watching this messenger, who's not allowed to use any carriages because he's of a lower class, run your missive, your eyes are drawn upwards towards the... It's said that the wall that separates the upper city and the lower city is 100 feet tall, because there was once 100 peasants that tried to overtake the upper city, and so a wall was built, using their children. After all, they are no better than an object, meant to be used, then disposed. They are, after all, very capable of breeding and providing more livestock, as is the nature of Scylla. How does your character feel as he looks at the wall and remembers its lore?
I think he would stare at it for a moment. Just to grumble. But he doesn't show anything more before he moves back inside.
Okay. So you prepare for your dinner date.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything special?
I believe he would bring a gift. Some of jewelry, maybe some sweets. I think it's only customary in a sense of if you were to join someone at their estate like this, to bring something in return for their hospitality.
Right. Do you arrive early? A little late? When the carriage makes its presence known outside of your domicile, how do you approach it?
I believe you go early, if possible. Just a little bit. It's not very polite to keep a lady waiting. But you approach, walk up to the door, and stand expectantly for the servant.
The servant is a young boy. You catch the glimpse of the collar around his throat as he bows to you, and then he opens your door and he stays bowed.
What is your name, boy?
You sense his instant fear, as conversations between nobles and the lower class is usually strictly forbidden in terms of the lower class.
I asked you a question, boy. Answer.
Liam. My name is Liam. My lord. Great venerable one. I don't deserve to speak to you. Please.
Very well. He goes into the carriage.
The door is shut, and Liam climbs under the back, and the driver. You arrive at Lady Daimia's place, prompt, a little early. And her servants all usher you in, none of them meeting your gaze. All of them, their gaze downcast, and each one with the same collar that matches Liam's. Some nobles prefer to collar their servants. Some prefer other methods of marking their property.
He walks through, tall and proud, barely acknowledging the peasants, makes his way to wherever he needs to go.
Okay. You are led out to the gardens, where there is tea set up, wine, and cake. And Lady Daimia is dressed in dripping jewels. A wide, fancy ballroom gown that is just access on access of folded, like, orange. They're not quite... It's not quite lapels. What am I thinking? They're just... She just has this overabundance of just... She doesn't need that much fabric on one dress. Let's just say that.
And it was Lady Damia? Is that correct?
Daimia. Dymia.
Daimia.
Lady Daimia. Mm-hmm. And when she sees you, she waves with a gold encased wrist, fingers, and lace gloves. She says, "Oh, my lord. Looking wonderful and resplendent as always. Please, join me."
Oh. Lady Damia, you're looking terribly glorious today. Thank you for this invitation. Well, It is not much, but I've got this for you.
A
And he gives
gift.
her the gifts, yeah.
You shouldn't have. She reaches for them.
It is not much, but as you have invited me today, I felt it's only necessary for such hospitality.
You're so well mannered. Thank you. I have a gift for you as well. And
Oh.
she snaps her fingers. And
Oh,
a child runs over with a large box that she's obviously struggling with. For you. Daimia doesn't even touch the box. She just motions for you to take it.
You flattered me. What is this? And he goes over to open it, to look inside.
Ornate, beautiful daggers.
My. These are beautiful, aren't they?
I thought they matched your gloriousness. And she snaps and like makes this annoyed look at the child, like, "Ugh, get away."
Hmm.
For you.
He holds one up and pulls it out, running his thumb along the side of the blade. Is it sharp?
It is. Not quite as sharp as one that you might have at home or hidden on you, but yeah, it is.
Well, this is quite remarkable. Where did you get these?
I had them
I must
specially made for you. I was hoping, if it wasn't too bold of me, that you would accompany me to the gala.
To Gahala. He puts them away and places them on the table as he takes his seat. Well, to have someone like you accompany me would be an honor, would it not?
Indeed. Though I understand this is typically a gentleman's right to ask the lady he wishes. I suppose my intentions today are to let you know I'm available to invite to the gala.
No. I like that you approached. It's very flattering, Lady Davia.
Well, then I suppose, as always, the gods have blessed me and my own.
Well, maybe I'm the one that's blessed as you have approached me for this.
She has this glint in her eyes. So is that a yes, then?
It is.
You have made my heart very happy this day. Good, too. I've already got an address in the design that matches those daggers. The sapphires and rubies are genuine, mined recently, and exported and brought here. Merrow Point does excellent work with its citizens.
Wow. Then you will have to recommend me a tailor,
Of
because
course,
I would need to find something befitting.
I'll recommend mine.
Good.
And she gives you a name, exchanges the information with you. And it's a bit of back and forth until finally she changes the topic. Do you partake of the wine and drink the cake? Sorry, wait, what? Do you drink the cake? Whoa, do you partake of
Quite liquidly. your cake.
It's a
Is
lava
this
cake. It's a
normal?
lava cake. It's a Denny's lava
okay,
cake.
yes, yeah.
You slurp it up, slurp it up.
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would drink the cake.
Okay, roll a Constitution saving throw.
This is great, guys. Good start. Plus 0 to con. Okay, perfect. So 5.
It's definitely drugged.
Perfect.
And as your vision begins to blur, she's like, "Oh, my lord, Loki, are you all right? Are you?" And she touches your shoulder as you like begin to slump forward, and she says, "Oh no, don't worry. I'll take you to a bedroom to lay down." And your face hits the table with a hard crunch, and everything goes dark. And we're going to take a small break there and then meet the rest of our players.
Great start, guys. Let's go.
Have y'all gotten roofied by a cake before? That's crazy. Oh.
And we're back.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, it's just me. Just me. Unconscious. No dicks involved.
Roll your third character.
And now we meet our next party member. Chips, I need you to roll a perception, please, and a stealth.
Okay. Oh, and a stealth. Okay. Wait, I'm on the wrong sheet. Okay, so perception was a dirty 20. And stealth. Ooh, I have disadvantage. Stealth was 11 total. So dirty 20 and 11.
Okay. The streets of the lower city of Scylla are dirty, narrow, overcrowded. You have found yourself lost on this quest, this yearning, this feeling that what must be done by your hands alone. Or maybe not alone. Chip still isn't sure, after all. But the guards that are chasing you, interested in the golden pieces that make up your core and your wires, are still hot on your trail. To your right, there is a sewer passage that leads down below this overcrowded, overbearing, overhanging, crooked, maybe buckle of apartments. You'd have to kick out the grate. It might make some noise, but you could slip in. And it's only large enough that maybe you and maybe a really fat cat could fit in, but definitely not those guards. Your other choice, go into the apartments themselves. What do you do?
I'm gonna go into this sewer. Right? That's what you said, sewers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sewers or apartment? You going to sewers?
Sewers.
Okay. Whew. Are you going to break it down, or are you going to try and sleight of hand it?
Sleight of hand.
Okay, roll sleight of hand. You hear a voice behind you. I think it went this way. Quick.
A 10 total.
Okay. Your little fingers are fumbling. And you hear a voice that says, "Hey, little guy, you need some help?" He can't be more than 10. He's got really wide ears sticking out the sides of his head, really large eyes, and a gap between his teeth, but he's got charming freckles and a sincere look.
Okay, he said this is like a kid around like 10 years old?
Yep, looks like he could also
Okay.
fit in there.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to him and say,
Hello, my name is Chips. Can you please help me lift this grate?
I think it went this way. And the kid looks up. Oh, they're chasing you. Sure. Here. Ugh. Come on. Pull, little guy. One athletics.
Athletics. That's not good. Oh, no, that is good. Oh, that's not good. 15?
Okay.
Even?
Between you and the kid, you get uplifted. He lowers you down. How heavy are you?
I am pretty stout. Yeah, even though I am small, I am made of pretty heavy metals that make me kind of like normal weight for a warforged. So I'm gonna say something around like 210 pounds.
So he goes to like help you and lower you down, and he ends up miscalculating as you're like kind of going in, and you pull him with you. The crate slams shut, and you hear the guards, "This way! I heard a sound!" And their footsteps fade. And the kid is squatted down, wiping off the poop. He looks at you. Are you okay?
I mean, it's just, you don't have to stand still to do
Yes, I feel like I am fine. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. He like wipes off his already dirty tunic. Shook, shook. Do you have someplace to go?
I am not sure. I am searching.
Did you get separated from your mom? Or your dad?
I suppose you could say that. But I am not looking for them. I am searching for something.
Do you know what you're looking for? And he's like squeezing out his sandals. Wringing out
I
his
do not believe you can comprehend what I am searching for.
Hey, I know how to spell my name. I'm not dumb.
Okay. I am searching for my soul.
What?
As I thought, I do not think you can comprehend.
Yeah, I don't know if I can help you with that, but the Rat Queen might be able to.
Rat Queen.
Yeah, she's like the leader down here in the lower city.
Down here.
And I'm just gonna like look around. What do I see?
So tunnel that leads north, tunnel that leads south. The south one kind of bends, not kind of. It's like a curved bend that turns right, and everything is sloped, and there's just this like step below your feet. There's a step, and then in the center there is this nice ditch of just sloshy, foul-smelling refuse. It's just sliding its way down.
Do you know where I could find this? Rat Queen.
Yeah, she lives down here in the sewers. Come on, I'll show you.
Okay, Chips will follow.
Oh, is that your name?
Yes, my name is Chips. What is your name?
Oh, my name's Chalice.
Hello, Chalice. My name is Chips.
Yeah. You're, he pats her head. You're pretty cool. What were you built for? I've seen, like, one of you, maybe, and he's, like, balancing on the ledge, right? Like, totally doesn't even care, it's covered in poop. Just, but he's balancing.
Okay.
I am not sure, but I do know, at the very least, I was intended to heal.
Oh, cool. I've only ever seen, I knew the baker had one of you, but then she got taken. And now I don't
do
know.
not know how to bake.
That's okay. I've just met your kind before, that's all. It's just the rich people like to take them, and I don't know. I never see him again.
Okay. I am sure that is what those guards wanted with me. They were chasing me for some time.
Yeah, they take a lot of things that's not theirs.
So, like, for example, if you go talk to the medic,
Curious.
But we're gonna get him back, so everything will be okay.
That is good. It is very good that you are optimistic.
What does that word mean?
That means that you think of the good things and not so much the bad things.
Oh,
Yes.
uh,
Anyways, the Rat Queen?
yeah, this way. It's a little bit of a walk. Are you okay walking?
I think I am okay.
And I'm just gonna lift my little feet. Just test my mobility after the wee little fall. It's
pretty good.
Right?
I believe I can handle that. Please, lead the way.
Okay, he does. Just for me, just traversing these sewers, you're going to be climbing up onto the pipes. You're going to be shuffling in really, really narrow passageways. I'd like you to go ahead and roll for me a survival.
That was sorry. I just stuffed like a whole lot of meat in my mouth. Survival.
A survival?
We said put those away.
Ayo.
22 total.
All right, you managed to keep up with him. He's quite lithe, limber, quick. At a couple points, he tells you to be really, really quiet. After about 40 minutes of travel, the sewers kind of branch off. There's like a hole, like it almost looks man-made. There's a hole that leads through this dirt tunnel. Then it expands really wide into, gosh, a grotto. I mean, it's obviously not underwater, but there's greenery. You see that there's wild cats, though they're friendly. They don't really seem to belong to anyone. There's this bend around really tall grass that's growing out of this old structure. What it used to be, you have no idea, but it is certainly not the sewers. It almost feels like the ruins of some under citadel that have been changed by time and growth. You turn around, like you come around that bend, that huge broken wall that's just covered in vines and greens and cats, and you see tents and people. And one of them calls out and says, "Chalice, I've been looking for you everywhere." She's probably a girl of 14 or 15. And when she sees you, her eyes like light up. "Oh, you found one! Oh my gosh, he's so little. Hey, little guy." "Yeah, he's mine. I found him. I mean, he's mine if he's my friend. I mean, he's his own person, but he's my friend. We're friends."
I am Chips.
"Hi. Oh my gosh, look at how dirty he is. Chalice. Well, we found Chalice. Come on. Let's get you both cleaned up. Let's go. We gotta see the Rat Queen." Yes, she's in a meeting right now. Come on. Food, wash up first. Let's go. You too, Chips.
Okay.
And as I'm being dragged along, I'm just gonna be like, just gonna say it.
Yes, we are in the sewers, so it would make sense that I am dirty. I believe there is fecal matter on my foot.
Don't worry about that. We'll definitely get you cleaned up, okay? I mean, are you waterproof?
I do not know. I have not exposed myself to water.
Okay. We'll just use a rag then. No problem. The
Okay.
tents are all like strung together overhead, and when you look up, it's almost open sky. There's like netting, and over the netting, there's like plants and some dirt, and it looks almost like this is a giant like trap hole, like somewhere under the city or hidden from above. But there are streaks of sunbeams that glance off of the brightly colored, strung together tents. There's strings of lights between the posts that hold these makeshift dwellings together. Chips, as you walk, go ahead and roll me an insight.
Inside. Where is inside? Ah, that's bad. 11.
You're not really sure the engineering and architecture of this overall, but you think in the winter it's really cold. Oh, but in the summer, which it must be, people don't seem to be wearing furs. It seems pretty comfortable, pretty open. You know, there's just one big community. Nobody is wearing anything resplendent. It's all torn, well worn, dull in color. But the people here, though there is a heavy feeling, there's a peace. A type of peace, at least. And the young girl takes you and Chalice to the very far edge of this camp, where there is an open area for bathing. Well, it seems like it's connected to some sort of underwater spring. And there's large wax-sealed bins, and she has you get in one, and she has Chalice get in one, and she makes this circle with her hands, and she begins to fill chalices with her magic. At first, he's like, "Oh, it's cold!" And she's like, "Stop complaining." And then once she's got the little boy washing, she comes over to you, and she unties her apron and gets it wet, and then starts doing her best to scrub away the fecal matter. And she says, "So, Chips, tell me, why did you, want to see the Rat Queen?"
I am searching for something, and I was told that the Rat Queen might be able to help me.
She's really smart. She's a leader here. Her title isn't really the Rat Queen. The kids kind of call her that because she talks to animals. Yeah.
Talks to animals.
Yeah, we without revealing too much, I guess, we kind of like transfer messages using the mice and rats.
I see. That is a very peculiar way to communicate.
It's the safest.
I understand. You are very nice for cleaning the fecal matter from my foot.
Oh, you're welcome. Anyone would do it.
Well, thank you. You did not have to do that.
Don't worry about it, Chips.
I am not sure if I got your name.
Irida.
Irida.
Yeah.
It is nice to meet you, Irida. I am Chips.
You said that before.
Yes. So, the Rat Queen will be able to see me soon?
Yeah, she's... Promise not to tell anyone I told you?
I promise.
Alright. She's in a meeting right now. We...
Meeting.
Yeah, we're... Hey, shh! She tells some errant dog in the background. Stop it! Stop barking! Go pee-pee, eat your food!
Do you talk to that dog as well?
Not like the rat queen. No, not like our leader. He's barking when he shouldn't. We have to be as quiet as possible down here. It's just safer that way.
I understand.
Do you have any... Sorry, I hate to ask, but, Oh, goodness. Do you have any special abilities? And Chalice comes up out of the water as he spits, and he's like, he can heal! And she's like, keep scrubbing. And get behind your ears.
Yes. When I was constructed, I believe I was created with the intent to heal.
A healer.
Yes, I am not sure where these abilities come from. I did not get a chance to ask my creator. But I have the inherent ability to heal.
That's good. That's really good, actually. Let's finish cleaning you up and then I'll take you to see the Rat Queen right away, okay?
Okay.
And she just smiles at you. Roll an insight.
Inside is a... Where is it? Oh, 17.
She's looking at you with hope. Undiluted, brightly shining hope. Like you are the answer to some question she's been asking.
You are looking at me in a certain way. What is that look?
I feel like you're the answer to our prayers. And we're gonna pause.
Prayers.
We're gonna pause there with you.
Okay.
And we're gonna slide over to oh shoot. Can I have Nate and Kate roll off, please?
Oh, there. Rolling. I got a 9.
I love Chips so much.
I love him so much.
He's the greatest.
I love him.
Hello.
I want to hug him. I want to give him big squishy hugs. I mean, like, you're so cute.
I just want you to be super out of pocket with him.
You already know.
All right, Nate, what'd you get?
13.
All right.
I got a 6.
Okay.
9.
Alrighty, then we're going to slide into the upper city of Scylla to our next hero, whom we find in a prison cell. Standing outside your cell is a guard that has become familiar to you. He's heckled you. He's the one who arrested you. In fact, he's the one who ground your face so hard into the dirt that you think you may have busted open your eyebrow. You haven't been able to look yourself in the mirror because you've been shackled waist, neck, ankles, and wrists. You've been too fucking tired. Not to mention there's not a goddamn mirror in this whole fucking cell. Wherever you are, which is probably below somebody's goddamn house, considering the structure, you've broken into many of them. Who do they think you are? Some conjurer of cheap fucking tricks? Roll an insight.
17.
If your hands were free, and it's probably a good thing that they're not, because your hands, essentially how you are cuffed is your hands are palm to palm, your fingers sprawled out, and each finger is cuffed to the other. So your left hand is cuffed to your right hand by your fingers and your thumbs, and then you're cuffed by your wrists as well. So you are basically in a prayer stance, with your palms pressed together, because they don't want you to get out. If you had access to any of your tools or even a button, which you do have one, your pants have a button, you could very easily pop open the cell and escape. But they know you well. And the intentions of the soldier before you that you've not quite yet gotten his name, so far you've just called him any curse word you'd like in the book. He's looking at you with interest. And it's odd, because he's the one who put you in here. He's just staring. What do you say?
What are you looking at, maggot? You gonna tell me your name now? How many days has it been? I don't remember anymore.
Either you're going to die of starvation, or they're likely waiting for some grand public execution.
Ooh. Can I choose the public execution? That would be wonderful. Go out with a boom, right?
He smirks.
Really so quick to end your own life?
Ah, I saw this coming a long time ago. I've accepted it. Take me somewhere nice before I go. Perhaps. Maybe a nice little dinner. You and I.
He looks a little disgusted. He says, I'm just trying to understand your psyche.
Oh, there's nothing to understand. I'm just a silly guy who kills people.
But not all people.
The smile starts to turn to like a little bit of a frown.
Well, my time's almost up. Doesn't matter anyway.
He just gazes at you, confused. Unsure.
What is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 11.
The feature that stands out the most about him is the scar on his upper lip. It almost gives him a hair lip-like look. It doesn't exactly diminish from his handsome features, and he isn't classically handsome. It's more he has an impressive... He's put together impressively, though it's not very striking, like he could blend into a crowd. But what is curious about him is that scar. Kind of gives him this little character. He's also not very tall. That's the other thing.
Okay.
He He just frowns, watching you for a while longer. He doesn't ever give you his name. He also stops volleying insults, and then he leaves. And he's gone for several hours. I'd like you to roll a perception check.
Okay. $16.
It's been so long that you've actually dozed. But you hear the sound of keys in the lock, and your eyes snap open. Do you have dark vision?
Do tieflings have dark vision? I forget.
New character, who dis?
Yeah, they should,
Yes, he should.
if I'm not mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it'll tell you right underneath your senses. Dark vision.
Yeah, he has
60
dark
feet.
vision, yeah.
Okay. The figure before you reeks. The scent of alcohol is like proceeds like feet ahead of him. Like he sweats it out. It takes him a couple tries on the lock, but he finally gets it open. And then he pulls open the gate. And he stumbles in. It's hard to recognize his face. His hair is long and dark and matted. His skin is dirty. But his eyes are a very pale green. Bleary. His cheeks a little flushed. And he just looks at you, and he suddenly, with a burst of strange speed, wobbles right up to you, and he grips your chin in a hand. Huh. What do you say? What do you do?
He goes, hello?
Are you
What are
shitty?
you doing?
Answer my question. Are you fucking shitty?
Yes, quite.
What's your armor class?
15.
Okay. He's like, answer my fucking question! And he punches you. He hits an armor class of 19. He does 6 points of damage
Okay.
with an unarmed strike. Bah!
Ugh. Do you want to hear a joke?
I'm listening.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
And he headbutts the guy.
Okay, roll to hit armor class 19.
Natural 20.
Okay, you break his nose. And he reels back. Oh, fuck! Oh. Ugh.
Funny, right?
And he lands on the ground and kind of skids a little bit.
You're right. Was the delivery too strong?
You fucking piece of shit.
Oh.
And with a wave of his hand, all of your bonds drop. And he says, fucking fight me!
Oh. All right. If I'm gonna go out, might as well go out.
He squares up. And suddenly he's got a beer bottle in his hand. You're not sure where it came from. Looks like purple, deep gnomish wine. Which is crazy, because gnomes don't live anymore.
That's cheating.
For me to drink, I'll take you with one hand.
All right.
Roll initiative.
Okay. 21.
Okay, you go first.
All right, here we go. Ooh. It's gonna be 17 to hit.
Misses.
All right.
And you swing wide. And he like stumbles back, kind of like a drunken master, like slapping your hand is like
Too fucking slow.
Woo, just testing the waters.
he hit armor class 19. He hit armor class 19.
Yeah, that hits.
6 points.
6 points. Gotcha.
You hear upstairs, "What's going on down there?" And your savior? He's like, "Fuck, I forgot." He's like, "This isn't over, but you need to come with me."
We were just about to beat each other's ass. I have to come with you?
Yes. And he rushes forward and he's gonna grab your wrist.
Oh, all right.
And he starts to chant, and the guards are like, "He's stealing Vesper! Quick! Quick! Ring the alarm!" And the drunk guy is like, "They're really fucking loud!" And he hands you the bottle, and then he casts chain lightning as it through the house, the bars, bouncing between the soldiers. All of them drop, and the two of you vanish in this blue light.
Ooh.
And we're gonna pause there. I know it was
Sick.
a quick introduction for your character, but it's gonna slide
so
in.
good.
It's gonna slide into someone else's. But slowing down, slowing
So
down, slowing down, moving to a different.
Oh.
All right, Kate.
Hi. Hello.
All right. Oh, let me reveal your character.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was like, Sly's gonna go first, and instead I made her go last. Funny. That's okay. It works out. It's great. It's great. Okay. How do I say your character's name?
Lumen, do you want the whole name?
Nope. Her, just what she's called.
Oh, that's a good question. Just by most people, her name is Luminetta, but her stage name would be Netta.
Netta. Okay, that's what I thought. Cool. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Luminetta. You find yourself at a familiar vanity in a theater. Well, the backstage green room of a theater. Your room is triple the size of anyone else's. All around you, decadence, costumes. Why don't you describe for our viewers things that Netta would have in her green room before a show?
Okay. If you're looking at Netta's vanity, you would see, I think the most prominent thing would be a big fishbowl, which seems a little weird, but it has her little friend in there, a cute little guppy named Puddles. And so while she's doing her makeup and preparing for the show, she would just be making little faces into the fishbowl going, "Oh, who's a cute little guy? You're such a cutie, aren't you?" And she'll just be doing, you just see a bunch of makeup strewn about, some throat lozenges, and you would just hear her warming up. And the last thing you'll see is a tiara, kind of like a forehead tiara. You know, like what
diadem.
Sailor Moon wears?
Yeah,
that
diadem.
thing.
Mhm.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Diadem. So she has one, and it glows with a glowing like bluish light in the center. She puts it on and kind of aligns it with the lure that she has on the top of her head.
All right. This is the little guy that is in the fishbowl.
Yeah, that's the little guy's Puddles. And she just puts her face like right in front of the glass and she says, "Well, Puddles, we've got another night ahead of us. Let's do it." And she just gets up and puts on her really long gloves, very slow and in an indulgent way. She's trying to enjoy it as much as she can, the prep of putting it on. And this whole time while she's getting ready, she's not really smiling at all. It's just kind of monotonous getting ready for another show. She shakes her head, gets into character, and is ready to get on the stage. Showtime.
I DM'd you a whisper.
Oh, you did? Okay. Let me read it. There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm gonna love this.
All right. So you stand and say it's showtime, and there's this bloop, 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 bloop sound for you to turn, drawing your attention, turning over your shoulder. Puddle's innocent, childlike, bright face is gazing at you, and it's almost just pure, like, love, like unadulterated, and and then he speaks, and you are reminded.
I reckon you done now be one of the most purtiest walking around with them leg thing ladies there ever had been was.
Puddles. Remember, your Puddles.
Right.
She gives him like a big, deep look.
Puddles. Puddles.
Puddles.
My name done been Puddles, and
Right.
I be real smart good.
Right. Yes. And
Right.
what does a pet? Do pets normally talk? Puddles.
Pets say bark. That's right. All right, Puddles. I hear be bark, 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 and he swims around in a circle. Bark, bark, bark,
God damn it, Puddles.
bark, 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 bark.
Johnny.
Bark, bark.
When I'm wearing this, and she points to her amulet, you stay quiet.
No barking. But you just had said what had a pet sound like, and I'm
Right.
I'm a barking puddle.
You.
I ain't trying to be nothing I'm not.
Johnny.
And you hear a knock
Listen.
on your door. Tick, 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 tick.
You better keep it quiet.
Miss Netta, are you talking with someone? Bark,
no,
bark,
no.
bark, bark. Is there a dog in there, ma'am? Bark.
Puddles, fish don't bark. Here, honey, fish don't bark.
Roll a persuasion.
There's nobody here. It's just, I'm just getting ready. It's a warm up. That's, not good. Persuasion. That's, where's my persuasion? That's a 10.
All right, very good, Miss Netta. Just if you need anything, I'm just right out here.
Right, thank you so much. I will keep that in mind. I am just warming up, getting ready for my show. Bark, 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 bark. She glares at Puddles.
He's grinning at you. He's got one tooth.
Johnny, if you Puddles, you don't talk. Fish don't talk here.
He nods.
When we're home, I'll talk later. Do you understand me?
He nods again.
Very good. Now, as I said so gracefully before I was rudely interrupted, it's showtime. She walks out.
Okay. As you step out away from the safety of your changing room, the pressure intensifies. Your guard is not your it's not your normal bodyguard. He's not here yet, but you're not entirely sure why. It's odd that he's absent, actually. But the young man, the young man says, Miss Netta, forgive Kellyan's absence. He's speaking with the Lady Damira.
And why is he with the lady?
She mentioned needing him to move some baggage.
Baggage.
She was rather adamant, and well, he left this for you. And it's a folded up note.
She reads it immediately. She kind of snatches it from the bodyguard because she's pissed.
Okay.
Let me see that.
It's written in your code. The dashes, the dots, and the swirls that only you and he read. He's been with you since the first show you made it big. And it was your sixth show that he admitted that he fell in love with your voice. And since then, it was just Kellyanne trying to convince you that he cared for you more than this simple bodyguard protector relationship. After all, you were the first client to accept him with one eye so severely damaged you could see nothing out of it, and the other lacking in sight. In general, his history as a soldier and warden were considered little, if barely impressive. Slowly and surely, a flame flickered to life. And though your relationship has reached a point where you're unsure if you want to continue this whole decadent burden of being the siren of the upper city, the woman who illuminates the air. It's still your dream, it's still you, it's still but love, like Kellyanne's, some say it only comes once a lifetime. The note reads this: apologies, my sweet fish. I was pulled away unexpectedly. A missive came from the Lady Damira, and not wanting to upset her, I went with haste. It seems that she has an interest in the Lord and wishes to settle some type of score with him. I don't know the details, but will share what I can when I return. I love you, my perfect lullaby. My heart always yours, Kellyanne.
She takes the note, folds it back very delicately, and hides it between her between her bosom, and brushes herself off, make sure it's not seen. Understood. Well, as they say, the show and my heart must go on. All right, let's go. Show me to the stage. Get this over with.
As you wish, Lady Netta. And the young bodyguard leads you to the private show.
Don't touch, don't touch.
There is one gentleman in this grand theater waiting for you. And it gives your spine the chills when your eyes lock on his for just a brief moment, and the whole fluttering sensation that Kellyanne has left in your chest, in your belly, it fades. Dying. And it is replaced by fear. This is the head of the High Council. He is very fond. Many call him Belial, after the Lord of Lies. But his name is just Lyle. He is the mastermind, mind behind Marrow Point, which, as far as you know, Netta, is a training war camp where they send young boys and girls who sign up for the draft to be used in the war. For there are things that lurk beyond the city walls, beyond the lower city and further out into the mists that block the very sun. And Lord Belial protects us all. Now we're gonna fade out with you. And we're going to slide to our final party member. I mean, until Hazard gets back, but you know. Is it Sidriel?
Yep.
Sidriel. I need you to roll a perception.
Okay. That's a 21.
You wake from the same nightmare. Only you are free. The chains are not digging into your ankles or your wrists. You are not choking and gagging on your own blood. Thank the heavens. All around you are the familiar, cluttered comforts of the tiny room that you have been given by your savior, is a funny word for him. And maybe also your captor? It's hard to say. The clutter are trinkets or decorations or blankets, cloaks, slippers. There's a chair stacked on another chair in the corner of your room because he continues to bring you gifts. And it's unclear exactly why he keeps doing this, but this morning is no different. The smell of cinnamon and butter crawls underneath your door, tickles your nostrils. When you check the small round window and look out to the river, you see that it is just before dawn. Very likely your savior, captor, is making you breakfast like he does every morning. What do you do?
He takes a minute to watch as the dawn comes in. Just quiet contemplation.
It's shadowed, as always, behind mist and cloud.
He almost feels this pang in his heart, and he turns his head away, thinking that it's all too familiar. And he dresses. He'll look around at the clutter.
You do notice a new mug. And this one looks like it's supposed to be some kind of cat or cow. The tail of which is the handle. He has this other odd tendency. I'd like you to roll a perception.
It's a 23.
It looks like he's put one of these odd contraptions in your room now. And why cutlery, you don't know. But it's a wind chime made purely of spoons.
He takes the wind chime and hangs it above the window and kind of runs his fingers through it, listening to the clanking of spoons. Hoping it's some kind of musical break, something of peace. Strange. And he'll once again look at the dawn, look at the clouded sky and the shadows, and turn to leave the room. And he's kind of rubbing his wrists as he does it. Remembering the feeling of the chains that were around him for so long. And he'll go to find his savior, captor.
He is dressed how he always is. He's dressed in wide-sleeved robes that are actually very loose on his shoulders. They look. This one in particular is deep blue, but it's tattered at the end and looks strained. He's barefoot. His hair is matted, and he reeks of alcohol. But sitting for you in the small kitchen, because as soon as you're down the spiraling tight steps, you're in the kitchen. There's a cup of tea, a silver spoon, honey in a crystal tiny vase, and a cinnamon roll steaming where he has designated your seat. As always, on his shoulder is perched a raven, and she watches you as you approach.
Good morning.
Breakfast is ready. I'm going out.
Won't you... Won't you at least eat with me?
The cup of quick beans he's just made himself that he is dumping a brown liquid into. He sets across from you. He puts away the liquor. And he pets the bird. And you see, as he reaches up to pet the bird, the tiny little soldier that always hides in his sleeves. This little... this little mouse.
Zoe, I literally just tried to take you outside.
A pleasure as always, Sir Ladle.
The veteran, old mouse, raises his hand. Inside the sleeve, there's this pocket dimension that enables the mouse to breathe air and share his own breakfast on a tiny little table with a tiny little cup and tiny little spoons. And he says,
Oh, good morning, boy. How'd you rest?
It is the same as every night, I guess.
Oh, the nightmares then.
A reminder.
Sorry, laddie.
You have no reason to be sorry. And you? Were you able to rest?
Oh, aye. These old bones are good at doing that now.
That is good to hear.
I'm going to be bringing home someone's guest. I mean, a guest home. I mean, fuck.
he pinches his nose and he drinks more of the coffee. He's already bleary.
It is your home. You may do as you like.
If you're still here, that'd be fine.
And where would I go?
He nods.
That's right. Here.
And then he suddenly stands up and takes his coffee as if he couldn't bear to sit across from you any longer. And he walks out of the kitchen towards the very small sitting room. The sitting room that has the most windows in the lighthouse. And it actually turns and looks out over the lake. And he finishes his coffee there. You don't remember the last time you saw him actually eat something.
Did you make this yourself?
You hear a voice. The raven. He always does.
And why does he never eat anything?
The raven gives you this steady look. But she doesn't answer. She does, however, take a small piece of your bread before jumping off the table and sweeping out into the living room. You hear ladle, but you can't quite make out what he's saying unless you'd like to try.
I think, yeah, Sidril would want to know what was being said, but not out of curiosity, just for being there. Trying to understand what his purpose is being in this house. He's kind of unsure if it's a choice or if it's still a prison, just of another kind.
Would you like to be stealthy as you move closer to the living room to listen?
I think he would play it off not as stealthy, but as, perhaps putting away his dishes in hopes to get closer.
Okay, roll a perception.
It's 19.
You hear ladle say,
I don't mean any offense, Master Círdan. I'm simply wondering if maybe you should do something about your inebriation just a wee bit. Who the fuck do you know? Does it fucking matter? Just maybe, sir, if you'd be more effective. I'm just as effective! I'm just as good at what I do, like this, as any time else. Stop talking.
and you see him twirl his sleeve up, which closes the domain. And he suddenly turns and looks at you.
And if you try to leave, I'll just fucking find you again. Get out of the way.
Even though you're not even in the way.
I'll be back. Don't go in my rooms.
As you wish.
And he stops, and then he turns and gets really close to you. Really inches close to you. His green, pale eyes locking with yours. And then he very slowly reaches above your head into the cupboard, and he takes a bottle of gnomish wine. And then he turns and leaves. All right.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. Sly, go ahead. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go.
Sidriel kind of walks back to the room with all the windows where his captor had been standing. And he watches the rest of the sunrise. And he just stands there in silence.
Roll a perception.
It's a dirty 20.
Okay. You lose track of the time. It's easy to do when you're lost in your thoughts. When you have as much on your mind. Do you stay at the home or do you leave?
What time is it now?
It's probably like maybe just barely after 7
7 a.m. or evening?
a.m.
I think he'd try to leave.
Where would you go?
Out. Just has no place in mind, just to wander. Clear his head.
Do you come back when you're done?
I think he would,
All right.
simply for the fact he doesn't have anywhere else to go.
When you return to the lighthouse, it is late afternoon. And in the front yard, a tiefling you don't recognize, and Círdan. They appear. Círdan's nose is bleeding, and he's like, all right, you fuck. And he spits blood on the ground. Now we're gonna fucking end this. Come on!
Is this really necessary?
Yeah, this fucker broke my nose. And I haven't had this much fun in a long time.
Let's go!
Your nose can easily be fixed, truly?
Wait, who's this?
Círdan straightens and looks at Sidriel. My apprentice. Don't pay attention to him, though. Get your fucking dirty eyes off of him. You look at me.
All right. Let's fucking go.
Roll initiative.
All right. $18.
18?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you go. Yeah, you go first this time.
Fuck it. So he stares you down and says,
You're strong. Let's have a little bit of fun.
and you'll see him hunch as white hairs start to grow out of his skin, covering his reddish skin. His nose and his mouth turn to a bit of a snout, and his ears go back. He grows a few inches taller, and you see the claws. He bares his claws and he bares his fangs at you. And he will. So I use my my bonus action for hybrid transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna go ahead and hit. That's gonna be 19 to hit.
That hits.
Is that hit?
It does, yeah.
Okay. That'll be
Okay.
6 damage.
Okay. Do you claw him?
Claw, yeah.
Okay, you slash across his chest and he... I'm gonna fuck you up.
Come on, old man.
And he takes off the top half of his robe and he throws it into the wind. You hear Ladle go, "No, sir! He's just a wee lad! He's not..." And you see Círdan, he flexes, but it's as if storing energy, and then his upper body becomes icy and electrical. And when he exhales, it's just mist, like crystals through the air. Ladle's just like, "He's just a boy." Okay, he punches you 4 times.
Okay.
But he's holding back, so they each only do 6 points of damage. But it's solar plexus, karate chop you in the neck, grab you by the face, and then bring your head down against his knee. Ugh! But he looks wild. His eyes are like bouncing around his skull. His skin is tight as he's smiling, more this like feral grimace. Sidril, what would you like to do?
Are they still fighting?
Oh yeah, Ladle's like, "Please, sir." He's like coming up out of the robes. He's got his little cane, and he's like, "He's just a wee lad."
This just doesn't seem right, both of you. What is the purpose of this? There's no need to fight, please. And also, I sent you a DM.
Oh. Okay, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It's a 22.
Okay. Vesper, it's your move.
All right. Let's see here. He's going to attack twice using his action and bonus action using his claws. One is a 19,
Hits.
and the other one's a 22.
Both hit.
Okay, here we go. $16 damage in total.
Okay. You slash across his chest, bringing with it just hunks of snow and crystal underneath your nail. At least that's what you imagine.
Oh.
I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
As you leap forward, there is a flash of golden red color.
Ooh, that's 6.
You do not strike Círdan. It isn't the frosty crystallization of whatever armor he just cast. It is flesh and blood. Sidril,
Yes.
his claws in your chest.
Sorry.
From behind Sidril, the menace grows 1,000-fold. And Círdan's head raises up behind his shoulder to look at you. And where his eyes were the pale green, they are solid black. And he raises his hand towards you, points a finger, and he says, "Die." And you feel yourself begin to have a heart attack.
You don't need to do this. Just
Stop it!
Roll a persuasion. Círdan looks at his hand like, why didn't that just work? And he's like, I must be too drunk. And he shakes his fingers and he tries again.
Persuasion is it's a 19.
Okay, so you move in front of him, you block his field of view, you're like, stop, 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 stop. Are you crying?
Yes.
Okay. He points at Vesper and he says, stop dying. And there's this beam of light that kind of like sparks through the clouds, and you're healed and you're no longer dying. And you're just like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Kind of laying there like, this is some way, I am way out of my league. But it's kind of exciting at the same time, like to think that someone this unhinged as you could have that much power. But you know, what the fuck? Whoa.
There's no need to fight.
Sidro, what's your armor class?
16.
Okay. Oof. All right. Círdan puts a palm on your chest. You feel the pain as he forcibly heals you and shoves you down to the ground behind him. So you skid backwards on your ass, and he marches up to Vesper, and he gathers Vesper up with a critical. Roll an athletics as he's going to pick you up by the front of your vest and shirt and tunic.
Acrobatics?
Sure.
You say?
Sure.
Or athletics? Which one was it?
You can roll acrobatics or athletics. He's trying to grapple you.
Oh, okay.
But he hit your
Gotcha.
armor class with a critical, so yeah.
Okay. Ooh, 13.
Okay, he got a 23, so he's still holding on to you, and he's like, listen to me. And those eyes slowly, like, start turning green again. Like, he's sort of getting a hold of himself, and Sidril's probably... I'm assuming you're behind, screaming at him to fucking calm down.
Yes.
Okay. So Sidril's like, don't kill him. This isn't necessary. Stop. And Círdan... And you hear Ladle too. He's just a wee lad, sir. He doesn't mean any harm by it. No harm. He's just a friend. He's just a little crazy friend, that's all. Círdan brings you real close. And he's gonna lick your cheek.
At this point, the hybrid form goes down, and Vesper is going to look at him and say,
Do it then. I was supposed to die anyways.
Not gonna kill you. You're too useful. I just wanted to have a little fun. But don't touch what doesn't belong to you. You understand?
Sure thing.
And he shakes you a little bit. What languages do you speak?
Infernal. And common, just infernal, though.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, because you're a tiefling, he speaks to you in Infernal. And he says, Harka de Sekida. I know you didn't kill those kids. And he drops you on your ass.
Okay.
And he points at you.
Your life belongs to me. So before you die, Harka de Esfe. Porca no Setara.
And my dog barking in the background, you're welcome. It means you're gonna help me save more kids and clean this fucking city up.
And then he says, it's time for lunch.
And he walks over to Sidril and he picks him up roughly.
I kind of fight out of his grip.
He doesn't fight you, he lets you go. He kind of sways on his feet.
And Sidril's going to walk over to this house guest.
Círdan goes inside and says lunch will be ready in 5. He expects you both at the table. Go ahead and roleplay.
I'm Sidril.
Call me X.
X. I put my hand out to pull you up from the ground.
He doesn't take it. He gets up himself.
Look, I have no clue why I'm here, who that man is. Frankly, I have no clue what's going on. I was supposed to die, but guess not anymore. So, what
And
now?
I guess our situations are the same.
In what way?
You were to die, as was I. At least I deserved to.
Looks like both our past sins have caught up to us.
Sidrill's gonna reach out their hand and touch X to lay healing hands.
Oh, what's this? Oh.
That's 6 points of healing damage.
Oh. Okay, 6 points.
Well, whatever's happening is quite interesting. I think I might stick around for a little bit. See what's in store.
He tends to be a good cook. If you're hungry.
Famished! Famished! Starving. I don't remember having a good meal in days, weeks.
You can expect breakfast. And dinner. And lunch. Snacks. A cup of coffee.
Oh. Is this what it's like to be a noble? Perhaps?
I cannot answer your question.
Are you of nobility?
Not anymore. And you?
Interesting. Oh, just a guy who grew up where money and food was scarce. But that doesn't matter.
Well, I do hope that besides this unfortunate interaction, you can forgive our captor.
No, I thank him. It was quite fun.
Just try not to fight again.
Sure.
Come. I'm sure lunch is waiting for us.
Oh, I smell it. Yes. Let's go.
Ham and grilled cheese greets you. With a side of tomato soup, warm and bubbling. Fresh parsley sprinkled on top. And the both of you have very particular spoons.
Thank you again for the meal. Sir?
Yes. It was quite good.
He just grunts at you and fills himself another cup of coffee with that deep purpley brown liquid.
Where did he find you today?
Me?
Yes.
In
X-
jail. I was in prison, awaiting for me to be executed, experimented on. I'm not exactly too sure. You know these nobles, twisted.
Yes. I am well aware.
Círdan sniffs. I'll be getting a few others. So don't fucking try and run away while I'm gone.
Where'd you get that idea?
Just looks at you, all blearied.
Old man.
And from his pocket sleeve, like in his sleeve, big white sleeve, you hear,
What is it, laddie?
So, am I like a slave or a servant now?
he sways a little in his chair.
Because from your words, it was, I own you now. Huh?
There are worse fates, I guess. Right?
I suppose, but I get a little antsy sitting in one place.
Perhaps we may walk. Once in a while.
Círdan like motions his hand like whatever. Then he scoops ladle out of his sleeve and sets him on the table and says,
Anything happens to the mouse, I'll be very upset. I have work to do now.
and he leaves. He goes out the front door.
Goodbye.
And Ladle
Yes.
like straightens his little vest and is like, I'll do my absolute best to answer any questions you might have.
X, this is Sir Ladle. Sir Ladle. Sir X.
Sir X.
Little mouse.
I'm a knight. My
Mouse.
name is yes. In my prime, I was called Corporal General, the Death of Whisker Valley, but now I'm just a retired old champion, a champion of the Fellowship of the Spoons. But I'll tell you their tale later. As it is now,
Say, Ladle,
aye,
would you
it's
like to hear a joke?
not if you're gonna hurt me.
Damn it. Well, next question.
I was in Master Círdan's sleeve when you broke his nose.
Oh, well.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Break your fucking nose. Aye, it's quite ingenious. Aye, but it's only gonna work once.
I like you. You're entertaining. So, tell me, why am I here? Why have I been spared?
Because you've got some good in you behind the crazy eyes and the wild feelings.
You think there's good in me? Wow.
He
I thought
take-
I was crazy.
You very well might be. But you hesitated when it meant the most, right?
It doesn't matter now.
I think it's the reason you're alive. And Citriel, Matt, young Citriel, you have to understand that
Siren's a nice. Well, he cooks you meals. I wouldn't say he's nice. He's trying. He sucks and he's rude. I know. But he mans well sometimes. As I understand it, neither of you have anywhere to go. Right? You're both a little lost. No friends. Not really. No home. So why don't you just... count this as a rough blessing. I'll keep talking to Serdin. I'm sure he'll come around eventually.
Friends, home, family. I've never needed one.
I wish I had one. I guess this is better than the prison. Whether it be the prison you were in, X, or the prison I came from. This seems more inviting. Despite our less than friendly host.
It seems you've been through a lot.
And it seems you have as well.
Sidriel, was it?
Yes.
It's Vespa.
Not X.
Just Vespa.
Vesper.
Yes.
A pleasure, sir.
Ladle's little head is going between the two of you, and he's grinning. And he's kind of stamping and using the little spoon crutch that he has, spoon cane, and he's just kind of like watching you both like he's very happy.
Well,
Look, little...
go ahead.
No,
My apologies, Vesper, please.
that's all right. Look, little mouse. To be honest, I am a shitty person. Not evil.
That's all right. So is Master Serdin. And he like crutches over to you like with his little cane, tink, 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 and he touches your hand, the very tiny little wrinkled paw on your finger. It's all right. Everything's all right. You're right where you're supposed to be.
How about you, Citriel?
Hmm?
Where are you at?
In my mind?
Yes.
Or what?
Are you a shitty person as well?
I am the devil. I'm horrible. And evil. Ha. But apparently this little mouse here says there is good in you and has said there is good in me, not that I can see it.
Oh, laddie, you're not evil. And he gets winded going across the table, you know, crutching over to you. And he touches your finger too. He gives you a little pat.
Huh.
And then he sits on your hand because he's tired. Just,
Well, Vesper,
Yes.
perhaps there is a little good in everybody. It's just hidden, like the sun. And look back towards the window.
This is so interesting. I've only met people who called me evil, called me the devil. And at once I was hurt, but I accepted it. I laughed. I embraced being the devil that everyone saw me as.
You see at this point, like, his composure, like, kind of relaxed a little bit. He was on guard the whole time. And then, again, he seemed tense up.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can't be here.
And he's gonna get up and not leave, just go to another room.
Sidril's gonna kind of reach out and grab your arm. I promise it's not that bad here. There's a really comfortable bed upstairs, and there's food, there's drink.
There's a bath too. Ladle's like, hunched over and trying to get to you, Vesper. He's like, there's a bath if you want to bathe, and there's alcohol. Huh? You like that, right?
It's bad.
There's
everywhere.
also magazines. Well, I mean, that's what I've heard that they were called, but they're like pages with like lots of good things to look at for you bipedal folk. Oh my. Don't worry, Sidril, I'll never let your sweet young boy eyes lay on him, but you look like a man who knows his way around flesh. If you're interested, you can lift me up. It's too far for me to walk. Old legs are, the arthritis, but there's plenty of reasons to stay. There's a way more not to stay, but you should stay anyway. Please. Stay.
I can take you for a walk around the grounds. I'm sure I know this is strange. I don't even know why I'm here, Vesper, but it's better than being chained in a cell.
Vesper is going to kind of swiftly take his hand back. He's going to walk to the door and he's going to grab the handle, but he pauses. He looks up. He lets go. Without saying anything, he just finds a wall and kind of just leans and crosses his arms. He just stares.
Ladle exhales. Whew. Sidril, get him a drink. He can't leave if he's drunk. Quick.
Sidril will go to Círdan's secret stash, the place where he grabbed the wine from this morning.
Roll perception.
That's 19.
Okay, you reach up and you feel this leather-bound book up there in the secret stash. Do you pull it down?
Yes.
It's beautiful. Beautiful bound. Do you open it up?
Yes.
Ink sketches. Sketches of apparently some place with the best slice of apple pie. This jolly looking Goliath. This derpy, flower covered
You no see me.
orc. This delicate, frail beauty. Page after page of these people. And there's one page in this book that is wrinkled. As if it's gotten wet. You don't recognize the person. He's older looking. shoulder length hair, tattoos that come down his forehead. And he's got this mischievous ass expression. And he's holding this drawing of someone wrapped up in a carpet. The tear stains are unmistakable. You can't help but run your thumb along the rough edges of one of them.
Something will kind of snap in Sidriel's heart, like this person must have been so special. And the amount of tears on the page feel like he has suffered a great loss. And it kind of just reminds him of himself. And he can feel the grief through the page. And he'll close the book, running his hand over the front of the book, and puts it back where it was found. And we'll remember the faces.
You didn't flip through the whole thing, but maybe you'll do that another day. You withdraw the wine, and Leto's like, "That's right, cup's over there. Don't give him the whole thing, you'll kill him." And then when you're finished pouring the glass and you return the wine, shut the cupboard, that kind of fits seamlessly in the wall. Ladle pats your arm and he's sitting on your wrist, right? Holding on your thumb, right? He pats you. And he says, "You're a good lad, Sidriel. A very good lad."
I'll just pat the top of Ladle's head. "And you're a very funny old man. Well, Mouse."
"I'm an old knight, too." And he winks.
"And us brethren stick together."
"Aye, that we do. That we do."
And he'll carry the wine to Vesper.
Okay. We're gonna, meanwhile, as Sidriel is holding this wine out to you, Vesper. And we're gonna slide back over. Holy moly, gotta remember your name. Holy moly, new characters to this. Solariel.
Yes.
You wake with such a fucking headache pounding in the back of your skull. And then someone rolls out of the closet of the bedroom that you're in. As you begin to come into a wakefulness, you feel that your wrists are tied, and so are your ankles. And all you can think is, "Oh shit." And you're not 100%. You just heard the closet open and someone roll out of it. And maybe when you look over, the closet's closed. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, fun. Not so good. 7.
Okay. Okay. Let me make a roll. Okay. Phew. The person who suddenly like stands up beside your bed, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw to see if you recognize him because you are seeing double still.
This is intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, you have advantage because you've seen them before.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 22.
Damn. Why the bodyguard of a crooner, not only a crooner, but the fucking upper city siren, is looming over you, you'll never know. But he looks... It's hard to kind of make out his expression, but he looks a little stressed. He looks worried about you. And he says, Forgive me, sir. I didn't know. And I want to help you.
Well, then untie me.
He nods.
What happened?
And he starts to untie you, and he says, I think Lady Demira has... I think she has ill intentions, my lord.
Demira.
Am I saying her name right? Did I say it wrong? I set my I was wandering around with my notebook, and I set it down somewhere, chat, and it's gone. So all my notes, don't know where they are.
I think it was Daimia or Dimia.
Daimia! Thank you. D-Y-M-I-A. D-Y-M-I-A.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you pace.
You're
You know,
good.
We're thankful for getting a new headset. Thank you. God bless. God bless. But we're, when we wander, we take the book with us and we lose it. It's precious. So, Daimia. Lady Daimia. And what's... Kendrillion? Kendrian?
Kellyanne, I think is what you call
Kellyanne!
it. Kellyanne.
Kellyanne. Daimia. Okay. Sorry. Back into character. I think Lady Daimia has ill intentions. I think... And he begins to untie you. I think she knows who you really are, sir. Or she has suspicions, and she plans to take you out of the game.
He, his eyes snap to him, and his hand reaches out, kind of like flat, but like towards his throat. And who are you? And why do you know? What do you know?
I'm the Mockingbird, sir. I'm your spy.
I figured she was curious, but it appears she knows more than I knew. All right. Do you have a way out of here?
He nods. I do. I do. Fuck. And looking at him, you know, as your vision is starting to clear, you see that one eye's been completely destroyed and the other one's like partially milky and it doesn't quite focus. It's got this, it like shakes almost. Like he can't, doesn't see very well. He's very easily recognizable. Other than the damage to his eyes, very handsome. Very handsome man.
So I know this person.
You only know the missives he sends you in a secret language of dashes, dots, and swirls, keeping you in the loop, right? In this kind of business, it's better not to see who is who. And he likely only guessed who you were because Daimia divulged it in her, ha ha ha, I'm so clever, I caught him, herself preening.
Well, looks like I will be coming back for her later. But until then, show the way.
Okay, he finishes like untying you, helps you to your feet, and then the two of you are going to have to sneak. I need you to roll a stealth.
That would be 23.
Okay, let me roll for him. Okay. He is not as he's not as stealthy as you. Not by a long shot. In fact, he rolls so poorly that as the two of you are taking the side entrance out, he trips.
Can I try to catch him?
Roll a dexterity saving throw. You hear Daimia's guards saying, "They've escaped. They've escaped. Someone's taken him out. He's not in the room." What'd you get?
17.
Okay, you do manage to pull him up to his feet and get him around the corner. He pulls the door closed. Moments later, the two of you are rushing for the fence line, ducking behind trees as arrows begin to fly. I need you to make an athletics or an acrobatics check, as you are going to have to get up and over this fence, or down and under.
If it's is it like a thick fence or is it like a wall? Or is it like bars?
Bars.
Bars. Okay. Well, acrobatics 15.
Okay. You take a hold. Using all your weight and momentum, you flip up, twist your palms, and then down in a very settling, straight gymnast land. He's not so lucky. An arrow hits him in the shoulder. And he's wide enough that he can't fit through the gate, but he climbs over. He lands with a crunch. Ugh, and then he stands and the two of you are running. Roll a stealth.
Dirty 20.
Okay. The guards pursue. And the two of you barely manage, thanks to your roll, to hide. And I need to take a quick BRB. Give me 1 second. You guys talk to chat.
Oh, Jack.
Okay.
PP.
We'll talk to the chat.
I'll be right back.
So
Do
what's
you guys
everybody's
know-
secrets?
Ben and Jerry's ice cream, guys.
No.
Ben
What?
and Jerry's ice cream.
What about it?
You ever had
no,
it?
Jerry's and Ben's.
Yes.
Why is it?
I've
taste
only
like
had
shit?
Ben's. I haven't tried Jerry's.
Oh, I don't like it. It's disappointing. I was like, I want ice cream.
Which one
And I
did you
went
get?
and bought ice cream. I got the cookie dough one, but it tastes like what?
Oh.
It's like
Ooh.
not good cookie dough. It tastes like
Hey, what?
tastes like chalky in my mouth. And I'm like, I don't want that. I'm
I
like,
like it.
I like Ben and Jerry's. I've never had the cookie dough one. I do like it.
I like it.
I'd rather. I think I just maybe I'm spoiled when it comes to ice cream. like, where's my Haagen-Dazs ice cream, guys?
Haagen-Dazs is pretty good. I
Yeah,
won't
it's
lie.
real good. I'm also used to like Canadian ice cream, so like if
Yeah.
something is not made with real cream,
Ah.
we can't label it as ice cream in Canada, right? So if it's not made with
Ah.
real cream, it's called ice dessert. And there's a big difference between Canadian milk and milk from everywhere else in the world
That's
Apparently.
just the weirdest like law. Why is that?
because it's not made with real cream.
You mustn't lie to our people.
You mustn't lie.
We
about the
come from
cruelty
a land
your
of farmers. What do you mean? You want us to lie to the people? We're not the land of the free and liars, okay? We are the land of the truthful.
Is that what it's called? Is that actually? Ask about Canadian milk. Derek says, "Is it bagged?"
No.
bagged
Well,
milk?
okay. Well, yes, it's bad.
I wish I
He
could eat
hates
ice
that I talk
cream.
about Canadian milk because, like, I'll go on a rant about how on all of our Canadian milk products, there's a little tiny cow. This is like
Oh.
Canadian milk, you know, because it's very important to our Canadian farmers that we, clarify that this shit is Canadian.
Uh-huh.
And if it's not Canadian, it's shit. There's a difference, right?
Milk is tied
okay.
to type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, American milk. They put sugar in everything.
Jesus Christ.
I went to a McDonald's in Florida and I thought I was actually gonna die. I thought I was gonna die. I have never tasted something so sweet in my entire life. Your bread is like candy. I'm like, why am I eating a fucking dessert bun on a McDonald's hamburger?
That's funny. That's crazy.
It was, and they're like, oh yeah, McDonald's has the best Coke, and I was like, okay, so I tried it, and I was like, I'm gonna.
McDonald's is tied to type 2 diabetes.
Everything is tied to type 2 diabetes. Also, I've only heard good things about our Sprite, not our Coke.
Sprite is tied to type 2 diabetes.
Yeah,
I don't like
but
Sprite
I
at
mean
all. Ugh.
but in the McDonald's specifically, I also don't like Sprite all that much. But yeah,
Also, what is an In-N-Out, guys? What is that?
In-N-Out
Oh.
is tied to type 2 diabetes.
In-N-Out is a burger place. It's a fast food burger
I
place.
was gonna say In-N-Out is also tied to pregnancy, Diz, but I mean, I don't think that's what we're talking about.
Oh my
true.
god,
Yeah.
That's very true.
gosh.
In-N-Out makes you babies.
Trying to eat healthy in the USA is very hard. It's also really expensive. I think that's
Really?
probably- yeah, healthy food here is expensive if you want to
I
get
feel
like
The
fresh
food prices
food.
in America are cheaper than up here.
Our fast food is really cheap, but there's a reason for that.
Oh.
Like it's super cheap fast food, and then if you try to get healthy food, it's usually really expensive. Like there's a restaurant nearby me. It's called like Plant Power or something like that. It's
Okay.
mainly like health food, vegetarian food. That shit is so expensive. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Plants have been tied to type 2 diabetes.
All right. You know, sugarcane is a plant.
Facts.
Bread makes you fat?
Bread makes you fat?
Yeah. Makes
Bread
your
makes you
ass
fat.
fat. It's a tied to type 2 diabetes. No.
Hey guys, food makes you fat. Fun fact. Food makes you fat. just don't eat.
No.
Just don't eat, and then you.
That's
you won't-
unhealthy. That's very unhealthy.
That
That leads to death. There's no type
That
2
is-
diabetes
that's
here. That's
also
just straight up death.
Breathing leads to death. Did you guys know that? That's crazy, huh?
No. Ice cream
Death
gives me
leads
liquid
in-
poo.
What?
Wake up.
Dairy gives me liquid poo.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
yeah,
That's why I'm
figure that.
eating ice cream right now.
Oh, I crave the liquid poo.
Soft serve.
Oh my god.
Nasty. There was a mental picture.
Ew.
All I can think about is chips in the sewer with the feces on his foot. Cracking me up. Oh, great.
Gosh.
Yeah, I really shouldn't eat ice cream, but like I said, had a craving for it. I went to
Yeah, but-
Dairy Queen and got like a Reese's peanut butter cup ice cream blizzard. I loved every
You mean
second
ice
of it.
dessert blizzard?
Actually, it's made with real cream. Thank you. And I ate it, and I was like, "Oh man, this is so good." And then I woke up the next day and I was like, "Oh, I regret my choices."
How is cream made?
I'm sure you know the answer to that one.
kind of cream?
No.
You can't set me up with those kind of jokes, man.
Like milk cream. Like, why is it not just milk?
They probably add stuff to it.
Yeah, what do
I
they
mean,
add?
If you have DDD, how do you make cream? DDP. Looks like people do
So-
like butter and milk.
Oh, it's butter.
That's not.
Well, that's what
um,
it says
no.
how to make
Well,
it.
butter
home.
is made of churned cream. That's not what?
Well, that's no. I'm literally reading how it's.
Wait, I
like
thought
heavy
butter is
cream
made from
cookies.
churned
Basically,
milk.
cream is just higher fat. It's the higher fat layer skimmed from the top of milk before homogenization. So, in unhomogenized milk, I think you guys call homogenized milk whole milk, right? You guys have whole milk? Whole?
Yeah.
Yes.
We call it homo milk.
Oh.
We call it homo milk because it's homogenized milk, right? So in unhomogenized milk, the fat
Mhm.
is like less dense and it rises to the top, and then they skim that off, and and then they basically they separate the milk and the cream. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So cream is just,
It's the higher fat content.
it's all from milk and then just separated.
Yeah. So milk has less fat solids than cream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. So when milk gets old, it separates again into like
Yeah,
this,
but that's curdling. There's a
this
difference.
That's
white
different.
layer.
That's different.
Oh, so that's not cream?
No.
Oh.
No.
It's a coffee ready.
Okay.
It's definitely not cream. You don't want to eat it, Diz.
Bread makes you fat?
Yeah.
All right. You managed to get away. And you take the bodyguard with you. And then we slide over to a little Chips. The Rat Queen is indeed impressive. A built woman. She seems half-orc. A little round, with kind eyes. She is surrounded by a slew of animals. Small rodents, deer, wild dogs, cats. And when the young lady tells her of your gift of healing, she offers this exchange to you, Chips. Help me. Help me during our raid on the gala, and I'll assist you in finding what it is you're looking for. In any way that I can. The best way that I know is a wizard. He lives outside of the city. It's a little treacherous, but I would take you there myself. Any questions you may have, I promise you should be able to answer. Can you agree to this?
Hello, my name is Chips. I will help you in order to find this wizard.
She grins. It's good to have a healer on board.
Thank you. When shall, or what exactly am I helping you with?
The nobles. They're preparing for a grand
Nobles.
gala.
Gala.
It's a party. They're going to be hosting it at the theater. And, we're gonna take their party supplies.
You are going to steal their party supplies?
That's right, Chips. And you're gonna make sure none of my men get hurt.
Hurt for party supplies?
That's right.
Like streamers and things?
And wines. And entertainment.
Why would your men get hurt for streamers, wines, and entertainment?
Because the nobles try to kill them.
Nobles. Why does it seem like the nobles of this city are not good people?
Because they aren't. They aren't, little chips.
Okay. I will help you in exchange for finding the wizard.
And she holds out her hand.
I extend my little one.
Okay. She gives you a solid shake.
I shake it back.
With your help, I think we'll all come home this time.
Yes, I hope I can help in bringing everyone back. When shall we depart?
Tonight.
Okay. Chips is ready whenever you are.
And then we're gonna slide to Netta. You finish your song. And Lord Belial claps long and slow. And then he stands as gracefully as an unfettered wind. And he slowly walks all the way up to the edge of the stage. And he holds out a card to you.
Why, thank you. No autographs on the stage, but thank you. She'll take it and then back away.
You
Very
see,
confused.
it is not a card for your autograph, but a demand that you will accompany him to the gala. And we're going to end there for tonight.
Woo!
Raid the gala!
Raid the gala! Season 2, baby!
Let's go. Yo, I love the characters.
Bark, bark.
Let's go.
Barking guppy. Bark, bark.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed season 2, episode 1. Let's go raid someone.
Raiding message, raid the gala.
Raid
Raid the
the
gala.
gala.
Raiding message, raid the gala.
Raid the gala.
Raid the gala. Stop fighting, everybody. Oh, please. Please don't fight anymore. I don't want everyone to get hurt.
I want many of the PCs and NPCs to step on me. Is that bad? No.
Now you know how we feel every time we play the game. Trust me. We go home and we dream about this kind of shit, okay? Okay, maybe I dream about this kind of shit.